last night I decided, you know what? I'm going to try to be Betsy a little bit tonight. And it was out of my comfort zone. I felt very awkward. And what I did was,
Cheers.
cheers.
Welcome to another episode of Almost Rich, Almost Famous, Almost Daily.
Guys, get used to seeing us on video. We've only been here on dailies on our video, but now if you haven't checked it out yet, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page, Almost Rich, Almost Famous, because our full podcast episodes are now on video. So we just did our first one. And I was watching it. I'm like, wow, I make a lot of like crazy faces. Didn't really realize it until you put me on video.
I know, same. And also I am profile view, and I'm like, yeah, I could really work on that profile. I feel like there's a lot when it comes to seeing yourself on video, but we've gotten a lot of great feedback and people really like seeing those weird facial expressions.
Yeah.
So everyone needs to make sure they check it out.
And I thank you for hyping up my double chin, you guys. No one has said anything because that's all I focused on the whole time. I'm like, that's what I look like from the side. That's weird. People are only focused on my facial expressions though. So I guess I'll just like keep being very obnoxious with those.
Well, I'm glad you pointed out the double chin to everyone. I'm sure now they'll be very interested in paying attention.
It's there. It's there, you guys. It's there. So Rob Lorenzo, first of all, thank you for being the best videographer, creator ever and doing that for us. But can you try to get better angles than me next time?
Same.
We'll work on it.
Same.
We'll work on it. But our last podcast, which was again all about the differences between Betsy and I, hence Almost Rich, Almost Famous, falling on a budget, me just usually on a budget. So we talked about all these differences. And last night I decided, you know what? I'm going to try to be Betsy a little bit tonight. And it was out of my comfort zone. I felt very awkward. And what I did was I sat at a bar by myself, had myself an appetizer and a glass of wine alone.
I am
Huge deal for me, a milestone.
Proud of you. That is a big step. So let's take a step back. I love to dine alone. I love nothing more than to dine alone, than to drink alone, than to just have a few moments by myself where I can gather my thoughts. That is Bridget's actual worst nightmare. She wants to talk, doesn't know who she's going to talk to, can't sit still. I can't believe you did that. I'm so happy for you.
I mean, it was kind of forced, to be honest, but I stuck through it. I totally stuck through it. Because in my mind, I'm like, why would I go sit at a bar by myself? I have no one to talk to when I could just have a drink at home or eat at home and FaceTime my friends. I'm like, I can't just sit there and not talk to anyone. Granted, I typically end up making friends anyways, but I will never go out of my way to do it. The only time I have ever done it is at an airport because everyone does. Your flight gets delayed. What else are you going to do? You're going to go sit at a bar. In my own hometown, no way. So last night I actually had a meeting, a happy hour, and then he got a call from his daughter. And he's like, oh my gosh, I have to go pick up my daughter. I'm so sorry. I just ordered a full glass of wine. I'm like, what do I do? Can I get it to go? What happens? So he leaves me there. And I'm like, oh, I was a panic moment. And then the guy's like, what are you eating today? Would you like anything? And I'm like, channel your inner Betsy. And I was like, yes. Actually, can I see the appetizer menu, please?
Yes, I actually would like to eat by myself.
Yes, and I did. I was only there for 30 minutes. I've never eaten so fast in my life and chugged the wine. It was like, okay, I see ya. So but I did it.
So how did it go? Did you get to relax into it at all? Or was it just super rushed because you wanted to get out?
Yeah, it wasn't relaxing for me because then at this point, I'm the only one at the bar. So then the bartender, I think he thought, oh, maybe I should talk to her because she's sitting alone. I felt does he feel bad for me? I was like, you're making it more weird that you keep talking to me. So then I got on my phone and started texting you so he would know, I'm cool by myself. Just let me try it. So I'm looking at the TV, pretending I'm interested in what's going on. And he kept coming back, are you sure you're good? I'm like, all right, you're making me feel uncomfortable. Chugging the wine, I'm out. So I don't know if I'll ever do it again, but I did it.
So did you, 1 out of 10, did you enjoy it at all? 10 being the most, 1 being the least. Where are you on the scale?
I'm going to say a 5 in the middle because the wine was great.
Yeah.
I went, again, channel my inner Betsy. I got a glass of Camus.
Good. You were just living over there, aren't you?
Just did that great. So that was great. My food was great, but the whole feeling wasn't. So I'm going to go right in the middle because at least I enjoyed that part of it.
Right. Did you Like, were you thinking the whole time about what other people were thinking of you being alone and like what you were going to do next? Or was there any moment that you actually just sat there and enjoyed it?
Nope. I was doing the same thing because I did. I saw a table and I like, maybe it was in my head, but I kind of felt them looking at me. Then I look over, then the girl like smiled at me. And I'm like, great, they're probably talking about me right now. Like, that's weird. Why is that girl just sitting there with a glass of wine and like all this food in front of her? Oh my God, they probably think I'm so weird. Like, I wish they saw me before. There was someone here. Like, all that is going through my head. Yeah, didn't really take it all in.
Wow.
Like,
So
why do you enjoy it? I don't understand.
I just like, I think that you and I are different in that like I am not the people who are over here looking at me, I think they're looking at me because I think that they think I'm pretty. Like I'm not worried about what those people are thinking. I'm never thinking they think I'm a loser. Like that's like the furthest thing in my mind. I think they're thinking like, wow, that's the life. She gets to come to this fancy spot, drink a fancy glass of wine, live her life, be by herself there's literally like we couldn't be more opposite on what we think the people across the way are thinking.
Yeah, I got a sense of that. Like on our most recent trips together, I'll be like, okay, why is everyone staring at us? And you're like, because we're the prettiest here. What do you think? I'm like, that's where your brain goes to. I'm thinking
Yeah.
like, do I have something on my shirt? Like, do we just look weird because I'm so tall and you're short? Like, why are people looking?
Yeah.
So
I feel like
I need to be more like you in the confidence level, and yeah, basically confidence level. Be able to
well,
go
I think
somewhere
we
by
really
myself.
I feel like we balance each other out because like sometimes people probably are like, God, like that girl has like a big stain on her ass. And I'm thinking, like, I know, isn't this like outfit cute? Like, so I feel like we balance each
Yeah.
other out. And I guess now is not a good time to ask you like if you'd go to a movie by yourself, because I'm assuming that's just totally it.
Actually, I would feel more comfortable doing that than sit at a bar because it's dark in there. No one would be able to tell I'm by myself. I could go sit in the corner. No one's gonna know. So I would. It's not something I would do, but if I had to choose, like,
Right.
okay, you have to go sit
Yeah.
down and have a full dinner by yourself, or go to a movie. I'm choosing a movie.
It's so interesting. Wow.
Yeah. So we'll just keep going on these like little versus battles of how different Betsy and I are. Again, our latest podcast is up on YouTube. Watch us because we've got double chins, we've got facial expressions, but I actually do think that it makes the podcast better. So thank you again, Rob Lorenzo. Subscribe to YouTube, Almost Rich, Almost Famous. Instagram, Almost Rich _ Almost Famous.
Cheers.
Cheers.